How big is Google? I mean, we can simply write it out as 1 followed by 100 zeros, but we can't really comprehend how big a number of that scale really is. Alright, let's try this. Let's try to imagine 100 separate things. Now imagine that each of those things represent a zero within a number. That's how you end up with Google. But people don't really understand how big Google is. What's the biggest number you can think of? Quadrillion? Quintillion? Maybe just trillion? Well, if whatever you said was bigger than 1 decillion, or heaven forbid bigger than Google, then there isn't really any use for that number.
The thing is, we come up with these names for these concepts of numbers, but when they get so big, we use them less and less. Let me try and put this in perspective. A mole, in chemistry, is a unit of measurement that equals about 602 sectillion atoms. Now this probably has more than 602 sectillion atoms. This pretty little beach shell I found. To this day, sectillion is the biggest number I've ever had to use for school, or anywhere, really.
But we can't comprehend what sectillion actually is. I mean, Avogadro's number is 602 sectillion. That's 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. So that's just 6 followed by 23 zeros, while Google is followed by 100 zeros.
The thing about this is that even when you take 1 and follow it by 100 zeros, even by that point, our fundamental concepts of the way numbers work begin to fall apart.
Scientists have estimated that there are less atoms in the entire universe than Google. My point with all this is, why? Why do we have these absurd numbers? Why do we have these numbers that we don't use, we will never use, because they're so large, they never have any use in any sense? And it keeps going! There are bigger numbers than Google, and there's a number out there called googolplex. It's called that because it has Google zeros behind it. So the fact that we can't comprehend what that number would even begin to look like just goes to show how downright stupid it is. If you were going to write googolplex on a sheet of paper, the 1 followed by Google zeros, you would need to be journeying to the end of the universe simply to write it out on one line of a single sheet of paper. Well, probably not a single, it would be a very long single sheet of paper, I guess. And at this point, since these numbers have become so abstract and so unfathomable, people don't even realize what they mean anymore. The number 1000 has 3 zeros behind it. 1 followed by 3 zeros. 3. And that represents a fairly large amount of anything you'd be counting. If you put 1,000 zeros behind 1, that's already bigger than Google. That's already a number that represents more atoms than there are in the universe. Google has 100 zeros. And while we can write that number down on a sheet of paper, it represents more atoms than there are in the universe. It represents more stars, more galaxies, more anything. So googolplex, that number that has more zeros than there are atoms in the universe, do you get the problem yet? It just makes no sense. In my counting to 1 decillion video, I asked people what the largest number they know about is. And there were so many numbers thrown out there larger than 1 decillion. I just don't get it. If you can possibly think of a use for Google or googolplex, please comment down below. I'm honestly curious. But I'm fairly certain that they don't have any use, and they have never been used and will never be used. Alright, bye.